Today is a special day across America. It is Veterans Day, a day where we celebrate the heroes that walk among us, and those heroes happen to be the veterans who have given us everything and understand sacrifice unlike anyone else. Thank you for listening, everyone. I'm Joe Archino, and I think right now the most important discussion that we as a country have to have with this being Veterans Day is what are we going to do to help our veterans more and help them better? And I think, we have our new president. President-elect Trump will soon be officially take over. But more than anything, one of the things that was surely missing from the debates and from the build-up to this new election was what is the new president going to do to help our veterans? Now, I said a couple of days ago, I don't care if you're the most staunch Donald Trump supporter or if you lived and died by Hillary Clinton. Neither of them really outlined a dramatic plan on how they were going to help our veterans. But again, I did give credit to Donald Trump a couple of days ago and said he did express some desires and did express some efforts as to doing more to help out our veterans. And I think I do have a lot of hope that he can do some great things and that he will push the envelope to give our veterans more of what they deserve. And more of what they deserve is medical treatment. I think that's one of the biggest things by far. I think we all kind of feel the same way. Anything that's worth having in life is generally earned. And I don't think any of us would disagree with each other that the veterans and those who have given us military service in any capacity have earned the right to get medical treatment, whatever kind they desire. I would love to see in a perfect world anyone who's ever participated or has given military service to our country, the veterans of our country who have suffered for so long, to be able to choose the doctor that they want at the hospital where they want, whatever they want. We will make it possible for them because, again, there's a big difference in this life between being handed things and not having worked for it and having earned the things that you want and you deserve. And no one would disagree with the fact that our veterans deserve the very best. And the saddest thing is they're not getting the best. Suicide issues among veterans is a major problem. The trouble of transitioning back into civilian life, finding a job, doing things like that. Now, I hear and I listen to veterans talk all the time, listen to their stories in whatever platform I can. And one of the things that I always hear is, if a veteran has to come back and they have a family and they have to choose between taking care of themselves and taking care of their family, well, I think a lot of us would be the same way, and we would opt to take care of our family first, and then that puts us in a position where we're not taking care of ourselves. But in time, that catches up to us, because if we're not taking care of ourselves, how can we take care of our families? And I think for veterans, that's a lot of the issues that we see them run into is they want to take care of their families. It's their duty. These are people driven by duty. That's why they joined the military. That's why they gave the sacrifice that many other people wouldn't be willing to do. But I think we need to focus so much more. A veteran should not have to have all these worries when they're coming back from giving us so much. And I think more than anything, there's a little bit of complexity to all of this. But common sense is one of the biggest things that will help us solve all of these problems. You just need to look at this thing, take politics out of it, because there is no politics in helping veterans. You don't need to be a Republican. You don't need to be a Democrat. You don't need to have any political affiliation to have respect for the veterans who have sacrificed for us and to find ways to help them. And I think sometimes as regular common civilians, we kind of look and we say, well, what real big difference can I make? And I think I understand that line of thinking, but I think it's the wrong line of thinking, because just because you might not be a politician or you can't create policy, that doesn't mean that you can't create dramatic change. And I always say our first duty as Americans is to remember the sacrifices that have been made for us, is to remember why we are here and why we have a place in this world. We have a place in this world because of the veterans who have sacrificed for us. There is no debate about that. You go back to the very foundation of our nation, we have a long line of history of people willing and able to sacrifice for us. And today, though, in the age we are in, we just need to continue to always keep their memory in mind, because if we do that, their sacrifice lives on forever, and their name, most importantly, will live on forever. And just today, Iona College had a tremendous event for former veterans of Iona, where they had people read out every single name of anyone who ever fell in battle and sacrificed for our country who attended this school. And this same type of thing is going to happen all over the country today. But to me, every day is Veterans Day, because the veterans of this country, at one time or another, they gave up so many days, almost every day, to sacrifice for us. So if it's at its most basic level of just taking some time, setting time aside each day just to think and remember and give thanks to the veterans who've given us so much, well, I don't think that's asking too much of anyone. And again, I will remind you, the first duty is to remember, and that's something that we are all capable of. But more than anything, the biggest thing that I think we need to see change in this country is helping and giving our veterans what they deserve. To me, there's nothing more sad than seeing the homeless rates numbers among veterans. I mean, you just think about a veteran who went overseas, fought for his country, might have taken bullets, might have sustained injuries. They are homeless on the streets. Some of them. I'm not saying all of them, but there is a dramatic problem with that picture of a veteran having to sleep in a park bench after everything that he gave for us, that we can't go out there and find a way to find a home for him, or to find a stable job for him, or to give him the medical treatment, or maybe the medical treatment he's receiving is one of the reasons he's in such a dire financial situation. These are all things that we need to pay much more attention to, because if we don't take care of the people who take care of us, well, that creates a vacuum, and that puts us in a void. And it comes down to moral decency and doing the right thing. You need to take care of the people who have taken care of you. And to me, that's why Veterans Day is so special, because it's one of those days where you take politics out of it, you take everything out of it, and you just look and you remember and you give thanks to the people who have given us everything. But Veterans Day should be more of something that we think of on a daily basis, because there are challenges that lie ahead and there are improvements that need to be made. And I do think, even with all the division in our country, even with all the disagreements, I do think President-elect Trump is going to be someone who's going to really dramatically help the veteran community and is going to sort out a lot of these problems that we are seeing right now. But time will tell, and it's up to you and I to continue to make sure that the lives of our veterans can only get better. But thank you for listening, everyone. Joe Archino, happy Veterans Day. If anyone served who is listening to this, I take my hat off to you. I can't thank you enough. Like I said at the start of this, there are heroes who walk among us, and anyone who sacrificed and who gave us military participation in any way, you are the true heroes of this world, and I can't ever thank you enough for it.